Guys, I gotta be honest, I made it all the way here. I don't know anything about this direct. I turned off my phone. The only thing I saw was a thumbnail of the Smash character. I really wanted to catch a genuine reaction, but honestly, I'm still very excited. Super hyped to see the trailer itself and everything. And excited to watch this with all of you. So, here we go. Let's get started. I was working, so I didn't get to watch this live, but I do get to still record my live reaction, and even though I know the Smash character, I'm still excited to see what else is in store. So let's get going. Come on, Nintendo. Hit me with it. Turn up my volume a little bit. Oh, I knew it! I knew it! I've been saying this forever.
One day, Pyra just disappeared.
Is there any chance that we still get more Xenoblade 2 content, too? I love that it's in the style of the game, too. Oh, that's so good. I am hurt that it's not Nia, though.
It was as if she vanished off the face of all rest.
Also sounds like Rex's voice actor has gotten a little bit better.
Where have you gone?
I didn't love his performance in OG Xenoblade 2, but...
Whatever it takes.
Ooh, come on, man, let's do it.
Pyra!
Sorry, Rex. I couldn't tell you. Because... I got an invitation to join Smash!
Wait, is it just Pyra? What?
Oh, I thought I was gonna be in Smash.
Just sit back and leave it to me, Rex. Behold the power of the Aegis!
Sky Bennett's also gotten way better at, like, enunciating and everything for this character. Ugh, I'm also so excited to get more Xenoblade 2 music.
There are no pushovers!
I tweeted it today. Elma would have been my pick, but... Stop!
Let me handle it.
No! Oh my god! Yes! Oh! Team MYTHRA all day, son.
MYTHRA!
She was, like, hands down, like, my #1 pick for a Xenoblade 2 character. This is fascinating, too. Like, kind of blows my mind that they didn't add, like, I'll be honest, I don't love Rex. You know, as I hate to compare him to Shulk, but it's hard not to. You know, Xenoblade 1 is my favorite game.
Quite the spectacle, aren't they? Wait.
Hey, Gramps. Gramps is the...
I missed this, buddy. Wonder if I was a while.
Stop. Oh, hey! They all look just like they do in their games. Oh, so Rex is just the final Smash. That's so funny.
Sure did. Witness our power.
And he's the taunt.
Shulk?
Never expected to see you two again. Well, now that you're in Smash, I won't go easy on you.
Fighting words. You forget. We're fighters too!
Okay, that's... Sorry, Sephiroth. This is my favorite Smash announcement so far. Good God. Like, Xenoblade 2 isn't even my favorite game in the series.
It's been a while.
It's probably my least favorite. Well, that was so hype. Are you kidding me? And that was the first thing. That was the first announcement of the day.
A series of Nintendo Direct mini presentations. However, we haven't been able to present a Nintendo Direct in this style for some time.
500 and some odd days is what I saw on Twitter.
With you all today. We appreciate your continued support.
I should probably turn my speaker up so you guys can hear the... Because I don't want it to be drowning me out if I just play it from the...
Okay. What you just saw was
Actually,
the
hold
reveal
on.
trailer for the newest fighter in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game, MYTHRA and MYTHRA. They originally appeared in the Xenoblade Chronicles series as Rex's 2-in-1 ally. Please look forward to seeing their moveset in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This fighter releases in March, so we hope you'll stay tuned just a bit longer.
This might be enough to get me to come back to Smash.
First batch of Nintendo Switch headlines.
Okay, this is the other thing that got spoiled for me. But I'm not gonna play Fall Guys on the Switch. I already have it on PC, I'm just gonna play it that way. Turn this down some. But if you watched my video, Fall Guys was my number 6 game of last year. Wonder if this means we'll get like Nintendo character exclusive skins or something. That'd be cool. I was on the phone with my brother today talking all types of smack. I told him, Pyra, I said Rex and Pyra. Pyra and MYTHRA is better. That's like best possible outcome.
You have 22 minutes before the solar system is destroyed.
Unfamiliar. What's up? What is this? Oh, Outer Wilds. I'm surprised that I still haven't played this game.
By an ancient civilization. You have 22
But I've got
minutes.
such a backlog. I've been
The sun will explode.
going through all the
sun will
Yakuza
be
games.
annihilated. However, everything will reset, allowing you to
So,
continue exploring
like,
while retaining
I didn't get a chance to do, like, a predictions video because I didn't want to wait any longer. But things that, like, I would really like to see out of this Direct
the mysteries hidden in the
would be some kind of Hades something, because that game is still technically a Switch console exclusive. So maybe if there's, like, DLC or something for that game. Not that it's not loaded with content already, and it's such an excellent game as is. By the way, if you haven't played Hades, you should do that.
Summer 2021.
May or may not have some content related to that coming up soon.
To the test in 2 classic murder mystery games. Famicom Detective Club, The Missing Heir, and Famicom Detective Club, The Girl Who Stands Behind.
Visual novel type games don't do it for me.
Nintendo history are coming to North
Don't get me
America
wrong,
for the
I'll
first time.
dive headfirst into some anime BS if you ask me to, but
Switch system,
I just need it to be a little bit more loaded with action.
and twists and turns await at
Like
every
another game that's probably going to make an appearance here that I already pre-ordered for PS4 because I want that 60 FPS
will
goodness.
solve a complex murder case surrounding a wealthy family in a haunted village while dealing with amnesia. But that's not the only case to crack.
What? I love this font. Reminds me of
In the other game,
RPG Maker.
a supernatural rumor after a mysterious death to free students from a sinister nightmare. Interrogate suspects and hunt for clues to piece together.
Yo, Pyra and MYTHRA are in Smash Bros, by the
Can
way.
you figure out who the culprit is before it's too late?
Everybody said, no, there's not going to be a Xenoblade 2 character. I'm like, there's one for Three Houses, which, if you saw my last video, you know I have no problem with that. But, like, Three Houses came out, like, what, almost a year after?
On Nintendo eShop.
Or more than, I don't remember exactly how long, but... No, it was more than a year, because Xenoblade 2 came out, like, the year the Switch launched. Like, tail end of that year, but still. Yo, speaking of, let me tell you what game I would really like to see. It's Fire Emblem. What? What is this? I was gonna ask if this was Samurai Warriors. Holy crap, another numbered title. It's coming to Switch?
The latest entry in the Samurai Warriors franchise is coming.
That's a bigger deal than it seems, because 4 skipped the Switch. 3 came out of the Wii, and they had a specific mode that was just a Murasame castle. Also, I love this cel-shaded art style. It's such a different direction. So this is a prequel. That must have been Hideyoshi.
Samurai Warriors 5, slashing its way onto Nintendo Switch, summer 2021.
Yo, I'm gonna pick that up for sure. If it's coming to another console, I probably will pick it up on that one, because I imagine it's not gonna run great on Switch.
After 20 long years, Legend of Mana, featuring remastered HD graphics, is coming to Nintendo Switch.
I heard all the Mana remakes were not very good.
Find the mystical mana tree seen in a dream. Before discovering the world,
I only played Secret of Mana for a very, like, short window. I never finished any of them.
Dungeons and other lands to life. It's up to
But
you
that's
on
cool.
when and
I
where
like,
these artifacts, as well as how to
one thing that I'm a real sucker for in newer games is a blend of,
join
like,
forces with characters, each
classic-looking pixel art in an environment that, you know, like, couldn't really exist in a,
from adventure and rest up at home.
like, in a classic game. Like, this game clearly has, like, very modern visuals in the backgrounds of all the sprites. Octopath Traveler is a great example of that. I haven't really played it much, but the visual style is super impressive.
Turn off enemy encounters, as well as the new minigame Ring Ring Land. Legend of Mana will launch on Nintendo Switch June 24th.
Samurai Warriors 5. Like, the thing is, if I only get 2 announcements in a Nintendo Direct that are, like, perfect for me, that's still 2 announcements in a Nintendo Direct that are perfect for me. I'm not a big Monster Hunter guy, so this isn't really cutting it, but still. Pyra and MYTHRA. So exciting. Is this Monster Hunter Rise? I see this like I'm live streaming and anyone can answer my question.
Elder, I have important news.
So it's finally beginning.
Go assemble the villagers. 50 years ago, Kamura village was attacked by the Rampage and Magnum Hollow. And we suffered some devastating casualties.
How can we fight against that?
Our hunter is about to face the biggest challenge yet! No! We can't lose this game! Pull yourselves together! You're not getting it!
It's another thing about these streams, though, that's a little bit rough. I don't mean to sound like I'm a snob for optimization, because, like, I've been a Nintendo head for literally my entire life. You know, and, like, I adored games like Age of Calamity, which if you played, you know, deals with frame drops constantly. But it is kind of hard to tell, like, how well optimized games are watching them in, like, this type of format. Let me see if I can... Yeah, I'm at the best quality.
Inoa, we should start preparations right away. We're here to offer assistance.
That's cool.
Stop the calamity!
Can relate to that sentiment. Stopping calamities. Speaking of, I can think of a certain calamity I'd like to hear more about today. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
That was the latest trailer for Monster Hunter Rise from Capcom. How will our heroes fare against these ferocious monsters? Stay tuned for the latest installment in the Monster Hunter series, launching March 26th. Next, please take a look at this.
I wonder what Xenoblade 2 music they're going to add. What?! John Cartwright was just tweeting yesterday, like, there hasn't been a console Mario Golf since the GameCube.
Study the wind and terrain. Take your time to think things through.
Ugh. You know, one big complaint I've had about the Switch since its launch is that they went really hard on some really, really solid, like, Mario Party games, such as Mario Party, and then they just stopped, you know? And if y'all remember the Wii era, there was a new Mario, like, party game every other day, you know? You had Sports Mix, Strikers, Charged, Sluggers, Fortune Street, like, all sorts of creative and inventive games. And not all of them were created equally. Like, a lot of the Mario Party games on the Wii were pretty bad. Or not a lot, just 9, I think. But I'd rather have, like, a bad party game that I can play with my friends than, you know, no party game at all.
On top of all that, there are several modes with new elements that truly bring the heat to Mario Golf, including this one, Speed Golf.
Oh, you have to, like, run and catch up to your ball. That's funny.
Then you'll race through the course to reach your ball. Give it another whack to get it closer to the hole.
I kind of just played the best golf minigame ever in Yakuza 3 yesterday, so this is unimpressive to me. I'm just kidding, it was a nightmare.
Oh. Story mode? As a Mii character, you'll start out
this lady is like, oh, did we mention story mode? Like,
level up with experience points earned during matches.
What were those games back in the day? It was the Game Boy Advance ones that had like a really cool story mode with like custom characters and stuff.
Put your golfing skills
to the solid.
Test when Mario Golf Super Rush swings onto Nintendo Switch.
It's a very boring name.
Pre-orders begin
as a follow-up to Toadstool Tour.
The latest game in the Mario Golf series adds new gameplay for multiplayer modes.
While we're continuing series from the 3DS era, how about we drop a little bit of Kid Icarus action? We know that's never going to happen, because Sakurai is busy with his fellow Smash Bros. Devs putting Pyra and MYTHRA into the game.
Check out these games coming to Nintendo Switch. Return to the unforgiving world of Pandora in Tales from the Borderlands. Play as the Hyperion lackey Reese and the quick-witted con artist Fiona as you set out to recover a mountain of cash. Set between Borderlands 2 and 3, this game includes all 5 episodes, filled with classic Borderlands humor. Gangsters, bandit lords, and vault hunters are just a handful of the obstacles you'll encounter.
I wonder if they knew that a lot of people don't like Rex.
Embark on a wild ride when Tales from the Borderlands launches on Nintendo Switch, March 24th. 32 of Capcom's most beloved arcade classics are coming to Nintendo Switch. Rewind gameplay.
You know, they actually don't do a very good job of pricing these, though. So I imagine it'll be a skip from me.
Battle of Midway for free. Then purchase game packs or the standalone Ghosts and Goblins add-on to build your collection. Local co-op play is also available. Scratch that nostalgic.
Oh, cool! It's one of like 8 ways you can buy Street Fighter 2 on the Switch right now.
Brains. As a zombie, you just can't get enough of them. In this action game from Aspire, you'll build your zombie horde and take revenge on the city by turning humans into your undead allies. Replenish your bodily arsenal of sputum head, gut grenades, and more during your grisly mission.
Don't ever say replenish your bodily arsenal to me again, Nintendo.
Rebel Without a Pulse, equals away on Nintendo Switch, March 16th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop. It's Travis Touchdown versus Assassins. Wait, aliens?
Is this No More Heroes 3?
Aliens have invaded Earth. Hold up, is this even the right game? Anyway, after annihilating an entire city, the aliens have taken over and now host an intergalactic superhero ranking tournament to decide Earth's fate. Here we go. As the crass, beam katana-wielding assassin Travis Touchdown, you'll need to fight your way to the top to save the world.
Ooh, we are really having a dip here, aren't we?
You'll have to do some odd jobs around town and earn enough to pay off the entry fee. You'll then face off against a slew of unusual opponents. Most of them aliens with some crazy tricks up their sleeves. Study their tactics carefully to gain the upper hand in combat. With a new and improved death glove, you'll have access to a variety of deadly skills that can be customized.
Oh, I have been so waiting to get my hands on a death
The fate of
glove.
the world is at stake. So get ready to kick some, whatever aliens have that you can kick. Anyway, it all makes sense when No More Heroes 3 lands on Earth.
Excited there's a new Travis game coming
Nintendo
out.
Switch, August 27th.
Love the Travis series.
Exterminate demons in heaven.
As above, so below. Why do they need assassins in heaven? To do someone's dirty work.
What? Weirdness.
It's kill or be killed. You won't last long if you can't rely on yourself.
This is like a really cool art direction.
God's judgment has nothing to do with it.
As I mentioned, though, I am a sucker for some, like, nice flat colors.
Uncover
So
Heaven's
cool.
mysteries in neon white, coming to Nintendo Switch, winter 2021. The DC's superhero girls are here to save the day.
Nice.
Hi, everyone. My name's Barbara Gordon. AKA Factor.
One advantage
I'm always inventing
to not
gadgets
catching this live is that I can skip.
Ready to juice cannons and prepare.
No
for
disrespect, I get that's for some people, but probably not for a 25-year-old dude like myself. Oh, is this Plants vs. Zombies? That's cool. These games are alright. I don't think I mean, not really my cup of tea, but it is what it is. I mean, who can't get down with some wacky cartoon shenanigans? Cool. Next.
Who will join you in
Oh,
your
what? Are we doing one of these for the Switch?
band together
Metopia.
on a quest to face evil and save.
Well, if you're gonna do Metopia, you gotta do,
Metopia is coming to Nintendo.
Tomodachi Life.
Cast meet characters in various roles across the kingdom. Turn your favorite people into your allies, or even make someone the nefarious Dark Lord. Makeup has been added as a new feature in this game. Glam up your Miis and get them ready for adventure.
My Mii is already ready for adventure. Thank you very
Go wild with
much.
your Mii creations and make them even more fabulous. In the world of Metopia, relationships are key. So consider spending some quality time with allies to strengthen bonds. This can give you an advantage.
I mean, it's an RPG. If you don't have the power of friendship, what do you have?
If your relationship's sour, though, things might take a turn for the worse. Whoa! You can have a horse as an ally? That sounds pretty darn good. Care for it, and it'll lend a hand, or poof, in battle. Venture with friends and familiar faces in the lighthearted romp Mythopia. Coming to Nintendo
That's cool.
Switch, May 21st.
I didn't expect that. I'm happy about that, honestly.
Super Mario themed items are coming to your island. Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary themed items are coming to the Animal
Finally.
Crossing New Horizons game.
Oh, not that guy. I'm talking about the other
Like the
one.
Super Mushroom and the Question Block can be ordered in-game as furniture items. So place them however and wherever you'd like.
That's
You can also
cool.
place 2 warp pipes.
Do they actually work? They do. Nice.
Then use them to travel between locations on your island. Hey, why not try recreating the Mushroom Kingdom?
That's cool.
A free update.
Oh, and it's free too. I haven't played New Horizons in legit like 6 months.
Super Mario Brothers items will be available via Nook Shopping starting.
There was a time where like all of my friends were playing it, and so I'd log on every now and
Keep
again.
an eye
But
on the official Animal Crossing Twitter account for the latest
I don't know.
information.
As life sims go, it just doesn't really do it for me. It's beautiful. It's a really, really well made game. Just not my,
We
you know,
hope you continue enjoying life on
not
your
my
island.
brand.
How was that?
It's
These
good.
collaboration items will be released as part of the Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary events. Please wait a bit longer for their release. Speaking of which,
Yeah, let's stay on topic about that.
we have the global launch for the Super Mario 3D
Oh,
World Plus
I figured we
Bowser's
could maybe address this limited
I hope
release
you enjoyed
garbage.
that Mario adventure.
Might be worth dropping a quick mention.
Next, we have another game to show you.
Hello? I was gonna say, is this like a sequel or a spin-off of Octopath? Looks like it, yeah. That's cool.
Frost will answer for its crimes today.
Are these the wages of loyalty? Raised earth and burnt corpses.
You and no other must decide how we proceed.
You are a leader and must be the beacon others look to when the night is darkest. Together with these
You know what I was saying? I love it. I love art styles like this because they feel like
all in my power to
the perfect middle ground between an HD remake and like what old games were like intended to be almost.
Far, far away lies the continent of Norzilia, comprised of 3 nations and limited deposits of salt and iron. The constant feuds among the nations over these precious resources eventually ignited into a great conflict known as the Salt Iron War. Though the hostilities ceased with an uneasy truce, decades later the flames of war threatened to engulf the realm once again.
You are all that remains.
Caught in a tangled, fiery web of plots and conspiracies, a brave group from Glenbrook fights to save their kingdom from the powers that would orchestrate their downfall.
Our benefit, you say?
Nice.
In this new tactical RPG, battles take place
Wait,
on
what?
terrain with different elevations. A character's attack range is determined by their location
Oh.
and their equipped weapons.
Oh, okay.
Range can be
No, wait a
extended by
sec.
attacking from higher ground with long-range weapons,
I might have to get this.
and arrows, thus
You'll know how I feel about some Fire Emblem grid-based SRPG goodness.
An enemy outflanked is susceptible not only to your initial attack, but also a powerful blow from the ally positioned behind the enemy.
What have we here?
Charge into an enemy to send them flying into position. for
When
a
does this
follow-up
come out?
attack. We win. Link attacks together by first casting ice.
Like, all they had to do is show me a grid, and it went from, oh, this is cool, to a must-have.
With lightning magic. It is of the utmost importance to survey the battlefield before taking action.
Something I'm very good at, I promise. There's a reason why I don't record myself playing Fire Emblem anymore. And anybody who would look back at my old Sacred Stones videos, they're not even on this channel, by the way, would see why immediately.
Morality, liberty. Collectively, your decisions will establish your conviction, affecting how the story unfolds and who will join your cause.
Once more, I would ask you plainly, do we or don't we relinquish Prince Roland to Estrost?
Critical decisions that may determine the fates of nations are settled by vote on the scales of conviction. Use information you've gathered to sway allies toward your favored cause. The story will significantly change based on how the votes are cast.
So they refused to relinquish him to us.
Lies! His hand was forced.
As more and more critical decisions are made, your journey may take you down paths divergent from those of other players.
That's
You will
cool.
see what true might is.
Project Triangle Strategy.
And it has a really, really weird name, just like Octopath Traveler.
Please be on the lookout.
Oh, thank God. Like,
Future.
don't get me wrong,
After this presentation,
I'm super excited about this already, but a game like this would...
download on Nintendo eShop.
Oh no.
And in the future, we'll conduct a survey to gather player feedback.
Because this is so, like, this looks so good, and I know the minute I start playing it, like, that's it.
Please look forward to future updates on this brand new.
And I have so many games in the backlog right now, you guys don't understand.
Okay, let's see a few more Nintendo Switch headlines.
Let's get it.
Calling all hunters. Do you have what it
Oh,
takes?
Star Wars. Not big on Star Wars. Also, who's making this? Not EA.
Star Wars Hunters is a competitive, free-to-play online game set between episodes 6 and 7. Clash in this third-person shooter coming to Nintendo Switch
No.
2021.
Competitive and free to play, don't mesh. He says, having like played Hearthstone for the last however many years.
We all play for different reasons. Korgan loved battle. Korgan used many weapons. Triple-bladed war axe, spear of misery, Hades soul-devouring crossbow.
A princess is supposed to lead her people, not be stuck up in some tower waiting for a hero.
My line of work, bullets are constantly whizzing past you.
Flaming longsword, blade of doom.
Just once I'd like to catch one of them bullets. You know, with my hands.
With this crown, I'm gonna lead my team to victory and kick some serious ass!
Look, it's simple.
Korgan want new weapon.
Knockout City, I'm like a kung fu master. I can catch bullets. Woo! Come get some. That's it.
This is like killer dodgeball.
Roger that, princess. Here.
Let's find out what sound your face makes!
Roger that. Hands up, Your Highness.
Can't believe we're losing to a bunch of dairy farmers. Okay, team. They may have won the battle, but not the war.
Hey, can we redesign our characters? Not a team if you're not wearing a uniform.
This is a war zone, not a bloody fashion show.
Pass to me. Well, interview's over. Come on, man, one more game.
The fight for survival starts now.
It's Pokemon.
Hang on tight. Because you're all going to play a little game of fate for me.
From the creators of the Danganronpa and Zero Escape series comes a fight for your life, literally. Disoriented and trapped in an underwater theme park, the 12 of you, known as the Go-Getters Club, must now survive this game of fate at all costs.
Sorry to scare you all, but the game is canceled.
The game is suddenly called off. You escape the theme park and get a glimpse of Japan, but everyone's vanished. Set off on a captivating journey across the country that blends side-scrolling action with suspenseful narrative.
Wait, what?
Behind the whole game of fate.
As you make your way back home to Tokyo, you'll alternate between working solo and teaming up with a group to overcome challenges and monsters that stand in your way. What awaits you all at the end of your journey?
Weird.
The battle for survival begins.
I would try it.
End Club, venturing onto Nintendo Switch, May 28th. Wield the powers of Olympus with the physical release of Hades. Hades, the critically
Might have some
dungeon
Hades
crawler
related
recipient
news
of
coming up
multiple
soon.
Game of the Year
Very
awards,
excited.
is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch. This version comes with a couple of extras to assist you on your journey out of the underworld. The first is a PC download code for the Hades original soundtrack. It's
Yeah, that would
packed
be
with
helpful.
2.5 hours of blood-pumping music composed by Darren Korb, known for his work on previous Supergiant titles like Transistor and Bastion. The second is a 32-page full-color character compendium featuring portraits of the game's vibrant cast of gods, ghosts, and monsters, all by Supergiant.
So I already own the game, but I might have to pick this up.
And let's not forget the game itself, offering dozens of hours of exhilarating action paired with a compelling story. Escape the
Listen, I know, like,
for the
there
first
is
time
this
with the physical version of Hades on March 19th.
issue that people take with, like, popular games, but I have to tell you guys, like,
One masterful.
is this a Ninja Gaiden collection? Yo, there's another character who I've been, like, fingers crossed for Smash. I know it's not likely, but oh boy, if it ain't the dream.
Are coming to Nintendo Switch as
He deserves a spot as much as Simon Belmont does. I mean, Ninja Gaiden was as much of a classic on the NES as the original Castlevania.
You are the legendary ninja Ryu Hayabusa, fighting against a great evil.
This will be a great chance to finally play these games. Too many games.
Killer weapons, each offering a
Ugh,
style with
I'll never have the
different
time.
skills, along with
We're almost at the end of this, by the way.
quickly take down enemies.
And if I know Nintendo,
Quickly gauge
we're
your
coming up on the one more
using
thing.
fast and frenzied combos. And team up with other super ninjas in your quest to fulfill your destiny. All previous downloadable content, including costumes and game modes, are included. Revel in the intensity of Ninja Gaiden in one dynamic collection. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection slices its way onto Nintendo Switch summer 2021.
I've never played the 3D ones. I've only ever played, like, the original. But
More battles are coming to Hyrule Warriors.
more story content? Oh, are they gonna make these guys playable? Cool.
There's even more coming to Nintendo Switch.
Time for the real.
Default 2 is almost here. 4 Heroes of Light will soon embark on a journey to restore the crystals. Use the job system to develop your characters and master the Brave and Default commands to emerge victorious in turn-based battles. Veterans and newcomers to the series can enjoy this brand new story on February 26th. A new trailer for Bravely Default 2 will be revealed following this presentation. The game
Cool.
can be pre-ordered on Nintendo eShop.
Never played the first one, but it had a bopping soundtrack.
The latest installment in the legendary Ghosts and Goblins series comes to life. As the brave knight Arthur, you'll unleash weapons, spells, and skills to battle monsters
I think I've seen this
across
already.
challenging stages within the demon realm. Local co-op play is also available for the first time. Help Arthur in his quest with one of 3 supporting characters: Barry for defense, Carry for
Never played the original, though.
Or Archie for bridges. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection launches February 25th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop. 8 protagonists, 8 captivating journeys. Saga Frontier has been remastered for Nintendo Switch. Travel through a stunning sci-fi world with any of the protagonists, each with their own stories. With the addition of the playable protagonist Fuse, new gameplay features, exhilarating battles.
Can't believe they're going prequel for Samurai Warriors. And also, the thing that really surprises me about this is that there hasn't been a mainline Dynasty Warriors game since 9 came out, which was like the open world one.
Free-to-play Battle Royale features a growing roster of powerful contenders named
And it was also bad. But Samurai Warriors 4 was really, really good, and Empires as well. So I'm just surprised that they're going in such a different direction with the art.
For the first 2 weeks after launch,
Wonder if it'll have character creation.
Nintendo Switch. Fight for fortune, fame, and glory when Apex Legends enters the fray.
If I can make myself a beautiful cel-shaded samurai.
There's still a little bit more to show you in today's Nintendo Direct, so we hope you'll stick with us. Next, please take a look at this.
I know there have been rumors about Skyward.
Hello there, I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of The Legend of Zelda.
Unpopular opinion incoming. Skyward Sword is actually one of my favorite Zelda games. I get why people don't like it, the backtracking and all that, but honestly...
apologize. Development is proceeding smoothly, and we should be able to bring you some new information this year.
Psh, don't worry about it.
We'll have to ask you to wait.
Breath of the Wild was friggin' huge, so...
While you're all waiting, however, this Legend of Zelda game will be coming to Nintendo Switch. Please take a look.
So I imagine a sequel's, it's gonna take time. That's just the way it goes. It is! It's Skyward Sword! Ooh, I'll get to fight Girahim in that beautiful 1080p. So that's 2 of my favorite Wii games on the Switch now. Although this one is much easier to justify at 60 than anything about 3D All-Stars. Still has some pretty modern design conventions and stuff. And I bet the motion controls are going to be even more precise on the Joy-Con than they were on the Wii Motion Plus. And a little less clunky.
What you've just seen is The Legend of Zelda.
Unless they remove the motion controls, at which point it's like, why even bother?
Originally released in 2011 on the Wii console, and now it's coming to Nintendo Switch.
10 years since Skyward Sword came out.
Skyward Sword featured a controller.
Oh right, because I played it in high school.
Use the Wii Remote Plus controller as a sword and the Nunchuck controller as a shield. With the increased processing power of the Nintendo Switch system, the controls here are smoother and even more intuitive. And we've recreated the controls for the sword and the shield here by having the player hold 2 Joy-Con controllers.
Yeah, I figured. You can't do this game without the motion controls.
Right hand is the sword. Swing it to have Link swing his sword in the game. The Joy-Con controller in your left hand is the shield. By lifting the controller, you can raise the shield to block enemy attacks. You can perform other actions like using both controllers to wield a bow and arrow. These physical movements add a sense of urgency and tension to combat. But we've also made it possible to play the game with button controls.
Oh, what?
Played in handheld mode or on the Nintendo
That's crazy.
system. After mulling over how to assign different gameplay elements to different buttons, we decided to apply the sword motions to tilting the right control stick.
That makes sense, actually.
Tilt the stick down when you want to swing the sword downward. Swing to the right.
Yeah. I know that's not as conventional as, say, like Breath of the Wild or Twilight Princess, but this is probably the best way to handle this.
Here's something else we've been working on. Specially designed Joy-Con controllers. The right Joy-Con controller
I'm gonna go broke, y'all.
While the left features a Hylian shield motif. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, as the game depicting the earliest story in the Legend of Zelda timeline, details the events around the creation of the Master Sword itself.
Which is the reason why I love it so much. It's such a good
For the
prequel.
first time, will enjoy discovering the origin.
Or I guess not a
of The Legend of
prequel,
Zelda.
but you get what I'm saying.
The
July
Legend of Zelda
16th,
Skyward
no
Sword
kidding.
Launches July 16th.
Whew.
Following this Nintendo Direct, you'll be able to pre-order the game on Nintendo eShop. And the
Well.
specially designed Joy-Con controllers will launch on the game's release day at your local retailers. Many of you may already know this, but The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword was the last original console game prior to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game, and it was still following the established conventions of The Legend of Zelda. However, it gave a glimpse into many features and innovations that would eventually be adopted in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Like the stamina
Using
meter.
the sailcloth to descend in midair.
And the sailcloth, yeah.
A stamina gauge that depleted as you scaled walls with vines or ran. Even the concept of collecting items to upgrade gear. I hope those of you who've played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will give this game a try as well.
Already did. Oh yeah. I didn't like the flying segments though.
Please look forward to The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD.
That's cool.
Well, what did you think? The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword has been optimized for Nintendo Switch. It includes intuitive motion controls and button controls by tilting the right control stick. Okay, the next game will be our last announcement for today.
So crazy
Please take a
thing,
look at
I have
this.
no idea what this is at all. No leaks, no rumors, I have no clue. Oh! What? Is this Splatoon? Is this like a Splatoon adventure game? What is happening? Oh my god, it is. It's a Splatoon adventure game. Okay, I have only really played Splatoon 2 a little bit. Oh wait, or is it an adventure game? I might have spoken too soon. I hope it is. Honestly, I feel like this would be such an interesting idea. To do like the backstory of how, you know, because I know there's like this whole like apocalyptic undertone to their world. It'd be really cool to explore. Or it could just be Splatoon 3. It's just Splatoon 3. Cool, cool, cool. That's fine too. I was excited because I thought they were doing something super experimental, and I would have been really interested to see how that would pan out, you know, but it is what it is with Nintendo sometimes, you know. I guess I just don't myself really see how a third game, like a numbered installment on the same console, is really necessary for something like this, but I should also elaborate that shooters in general aren't really my genre, and while I enjoyed what I played of Splatoon 2, I certainly wouldn't have called it one of my favorite games. That's cool. I'm sure there are some people out there who are super duper hyped about that, same way I was super hyped about MYTHRA and MYTHRA, so it's all good.
What you've just seen is the latest installment in the Splatoon series, Splatoon 3. This game is scheduled to launch in 2022, so it'll be a while. We hope you'll stay tuned for more information.
See, I feel like for something like this would be a good opportunity to unveil stronger hardware to justify something like that.
To Nintendo Switch. variety of games are in development. And we look forward to sharing more news with you in the future. That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
Cool. I'll get this off my screen here. I'm gonna make myself real big. Hi. Oh, no, thank you. There we go. So, there we have it. I mean, that was solid. Honestly, like, I can't complain. That was a really, really good Direct. Smash announcement was the highlight for me, which is surprising because, like, anyone who's seen anything I do Nintendo-related knows, like, I love Smash, but I'm usually a little bit more about some of their more experimental titles, so Smash really sealed the deal for me on this one, though. I'm also super excited about Samurai Warriors 5. I've been big into the Warriors games for years, and, you know, seeing Nintendo do all their stuff with the Musou games is awesome, don't get me wrong, but for me, I don't think anything really beats those original core titles, the Dynasty and Samurai Warriors. So yeah, I'm super jazzed about that, and of course, Splatoon 3 is an interesting one. The new Mario Golf looks cool. That Project Triangle strategy, whatever it's called, super excited about that too. That's definitely going to tide me over until the next Fire Emblem, because after 3 Houses, I'm just, you know, wanting more. But yeah, that's about everything I have. Thank you all for tuning in and watching this with me, and of course, come back soon for more from the Game Room.